Summary of People Can't Drive You Crazy If You Don't Give Them the Keys by Mike Bechtle. Mike Bechtle's People Can't Drive You Crazy. If You Don't Give Them the Keys is a self-help book that offers practical advice on dealing with difficult people while maintaining personal peace and emotional control. The book emphasizes that while we cannot change others, we can change how we respond to them. Bechtle provides strategies for setting boundaries, improving communication, and cultivating a mindset that prevents others from controlling our emotions. Introduction. Taking back control. Many of us have experienced relationships that leave us frustrated, exhausted, or even miserable. Whether it's an overbearing boss, a negative coworker, a controlling family member, or a toxic friend, difficult people seem to exist everywhere. However, Bechtle argues that no one can drive us crazy unless we allow them to. Instead of feeling powerless, we can choose how we react to others and take back control of our emotions. The key idea of the book is personal responsibility. While we cannot control others' behavior, we can control our own. If we stop handing over the keys to our emotional well-being, others will no longer have the power to affect us negatively. Understanding difficult people. Why are people difficult? Bechtle explains that difficult people often act the way they do because of their own insecurities, fears, or past experiences. They might not even realize the impact they have on others. By recognizing that their behavior is more about them than about us, we can detach emotionally and respond more effectively. Difficult people typically fall into different categories. 1. The controller, someone who tries to manipulate or dominate others. 2. The complainer, a person who constantly whines and sees the negative in everything. 3. The critic, someone who judges and points out flaws without offering solutions. 4. The victim, a person who always feels wronged and never takes responsibility. 5. The hothead, someone who reacts with anger and aggression. By identifying the type of difficult person we are dealing with, we can tailor our responses accordingly. Breaking the cycle. One of the biggest mistakes we make when dealing with difficult people is reacting emotionally. When we react impulsively, we give them the power to control our emotions. Bechtle suggests that instead of engaging in an emotional battle, we should respond calmly, set clear boundaries, and refuse to get drawn into unnecessary drama. Strategies for dealing with difficult people. 1. Changing your perspective. A crucial first step is shifting how we perceive difficult people. Instead of seeing them as adversaries, we should view them as individuals struggling with their own issues. This doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior, but it helps us approach situations with more patience and less anger. Key mindset. Shifts. Understand that their behavior is about them, not about you. Accept that you cannot change them, only your reaction. Refuse to take things personally. 2. Setting boundaries. One of the most effective ways to handle difficult people is by establishing clear boundaries. This prevents them from taking advantage of us or affecting our mental well-being. Steps to set healthy boundaries. Decide what is acceptable. Determine what behaviors you will and will not tolerate. Communicate clearly. Let the person know your boundaries in a firm but respectful manner. Be consistent. Enforce your boundaries consistently so that others take them seriously. For example, if a coworker constantly interrupts your work with negativity, you can politely but firmly let them know that you need to focus and can't engage in such conversations. 3. Responding. Instead of reacting, difficult people often provoke emotional reactions. However, Bechtle emphasizes that we have a choice in how we respond. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we can choose a more constructive approach. Practical techniques. Pause before responding. Take a deep breath and think before reacting. Use humor. Sometimes a lighthearted response can diffuse tension. Redirect the conversation. Shift the focus to a more positive or neutral topic. For instance, if a relative always criticizes your life choices instead of getting defensive, you can respond with humor or change the subject to something more pleasant. 4. Communication strategies. Good communication is key to managing difficult people. Bechtle provides practical tips for effective conversations. Use I statements instead of accusing, you never listen, express your feelings, I feel unheard when I speak. Be assertive, not aggressive. Stand up for yourself without hostility. Listen actively. Sometimes difficult people just want to feel heard. Giving them a moment to express themselves can reduce tension. By improving communication, we can prevent misunderstandings and reduce conflict. Handling specific relationships. 1. Difficult family members. Family dynamics can be challenging because we don't always have the option to walk away. Bechtle suggests limiting time with toxic relatives if necessary. Establishing firm boundaries on what topics are off limits. Focusing on positive interactions rather than dwelling on negativity. For example, if a family member constantly criticizes you, you can respond with a neutral comment like, I appreciate your opinion, but I'm happy with my choices. 2. Toxic work environments. In workplaces, we often deal with difficult bosses, coworkers, or employees. Bechtle recommends maintaining professionalism and not taking things personally. Addressing conflicts calmly and directly. Finding allies within the workplace to create a supportive environment. 3. Friends who drain your energy. Not all friendships are healthy. If a friend consistently drains you with negativity, manipulation, or selfishness, it may be time to reassess the relationship. Bechtle advises setting limits on how much time and energy you invest. Having an honest conversation about how their behavior affects you. Knowing when to walk away if the friendship is toxic. Cultivating inner peace. Ultimately, the goal is to develop emotional resilience so that difficult people no longer have power over us. Bechtle suggests practicing gratitude. Focusing on positive aspects of life helps counter negativity. Developing self-awareness, understanding. Our own triggers allows us to manage reactions better. Taking care of our mental health, meditation, exercise, and healthy hobbies contribute to emotional well-being. By prioritizing our peace of mind, we become less affected by external negativity. Conclusion: holding on to your keys. Bechtle's core message is that no one can drive us crazy unless we let them. By shifting our mindset, setting boundaries, and managing our responses, we can take control of our emotions and interactions. The book empowers readers to stop giving others the keys to their happiness and instead focus on their own personal growth. By practicing these strategies, we can navigate difficult relationships with confidence, peace, and emotional strength.